Hello and welcome to another Redkite Salesforce training video. Today's video is going to be about communication preferences. Communication preferences allow donors to opt in or out of any or all forms of communication. That includes phone, email, mail, and SMS. Our first priority when a donor requests to change their communication preferences is to comply with their request and respect their wishes. The second priority is digging a bit deeper to uncover which forms of communication, if any, are still acceptable. They may still be keen to hear from us and to continue to donate. However, they might prefer that we contact them only about certain things or only in certain ways. The key here is to ask questions around why they're looking to opt out and to find out if there's any way we can change our communications that would suit their preferences. The takeaway message here is that it's important not to assume that because someone wants to opt out of one form of communication, that they want to opt out of all forms of communication. Because once a contact has been opted out of all forms of communication, it can't be undone, and that donor will need to be replaced. Replacing donors can be a very expensive and time-consuming exercise, so it's a much better idea to nurture the donors that we have, comply fully with their preferences, and use our resources to attract new donors. Luckily, changing communication preferences is easy. Just head up to the search bar to search for the contact, whose contact preferences you'd like to change. From here, you can scroll down to the related list for communication preferences. To edit any field, just double-click on the field, or you can scroll to the top of the page and hit the Edit button there. Once in the contact, scroll to the Communication Preferences section, and in the top left-hand corner you'll see Personalized Comms or Personalized Communications. This field automatically defaults to no because only the top 5% of our database should be receiving personalized communications. So people like board members, major donors, and Coles executives, etc. When Redkite is doing bulk communication campaigns, this field is used, along with constituent codes, to exclude that top 5% of most important donors from automated emails, mailouts, and SMSs. Instead, the communication is first sent to the contact owner, such as one of our account managers, to personalize and authorize before sending. Because we don't want our biggest donors to feel like they're receiving spam or generic communication. If you're unsure of whether or not to use this field, ask your team leader or hover over the question mark for a description. Which, by the way, you can do anytime you see one of those yellow question mark circles. Next up is the unsubscribe third-party checkbox field. Occasionally, we allow like-minded organizations to contact our donors. Those organizations allow us to do the same, enabling us to reach more donors. If a donor wishes to unsubscribe from third-party communications, just tick the box and they won't receive those anymore. The next few fields all work the same way. On one side you have available options, and on the other you have chosen. You select options from the available list, and use the arrows to switch them to the chosen side. The same also works in reverse. For example, if a donor rings through and says that they don't want to receive any mail at all, say for environmental reasons, then just choose All Mail and use the right arrow to add it to the chosen list. Moving an option to the chosen list means that this contact is now opted out or unsubscribed from that particular form of communication. Now let's say that this donor also mentioned that they feel they received too many emails from Redkite. Through polite questioning, we're able to uncover that they do still like to give it Christmas time, tax time, and any time there's a special appeal. So we choose the emails to exclude from the available list and move them to the chosen list. The same process of questioning and choosing options applies to SMS and calls as well. But please bear in mind that if an unsubscribe option is selected for any given communication method, an unsubscribe reason must also be given before you can save the record. If the unsubscribe reason from the donor doesn't correspond to an option from the list, choose the something else option. Bear in mind though that when you do this, the unsubscribe more info box will then become mandatory. Once you've entered your unsubscribe reason, scroll to the top or bottom of the page and hit save. Scroll to the communication preferences related list, and there are your updated communication preferences. There's also a handy field that tells you when they were last updated. The next field we're going to cover is the big one, unsubscribe all. If you tick this field, enter an unsubscribe reason, and save the record. This process is irreversible, so this option should only be selected when the donor specifically requests to be removed from all forms of communication. So, before contacting a donor, it's a good idea to scroll to their communication preferences and check to see if this box is ticked, or if they have expressed any preferences regarding communication from Redkite. To help highlight that this record has been changed to unsubscribe all and should not be contacted, an automated task is created and can be viewed in the activity history. Well, that's it for communication preferences. Thanks for watching.